Are you in your 40s or 50s, a dad, a grandfather maybe, and you're feeling weak and you're sick of being weak? I'm going to show you how to totally transform your life in 10 minutes a day for virtually no money or no money. And you're going to go, if you listen to this whole video and you watch this whole video, you are going to see and learn 5 things you can do that will completely transform how you feel about yourself, your usefulness to your family, and it's going to take you on a journey that I've been down that I can't even explain, the transformation of how you feel. And unlike a lot of the young fitness influencers, I'm not standing posing here with my shirt off because it's flipping freezing, but I want to demonstrate that you don't have to be 20 years old to be strong. You don't have to be without injuries to be strong. I specifically chose today to do this video because I feel like hell. I've had 4 hours sleep because of stress from work. I don't have a lot of time to do it. This is not the right space to do it. It's not a commercial gym, and I don't want to show a commercial gym in this video. I don't want to show expensive equipment in this video, and I don't want to show myself at my best in this video with great setup, great everything. I want to tell you that I am a 48-year-old dad. I've got young kids, and basically I want to show you that even if you are older, and even if you don't have a great setup, and even if you don't have a lot of space, and even if you don't have a lot of money, you can actually get yourself into phenomenal shape and change what you can do. Now, just regarding injuries, you've got to understand your body. If you've got injuries, for example, I tore my meniscus 20 years ago. I've had multiple hernia ops. So I want to show you that you can do this. What you need to do is just be careful. I would recommend maybe going to see a physio if you've got a history of injury. You don't want to necessarily do something that could harm yourself, but that being said, you'll be shocked what you can be capable of. So I'm going to first show you 5 exercises, and then I'm going to explain a philosophy that will change how you think about yourself and which will allow you to progress. Now, even though I've got a barbell and some iso-weights inside, for today I have specifically chosen this little dumbbell that I'm going to get now. So I want you to just have a look on this dumbbell. I put 20 kilos, okay, but you don't have to put 20 kilos. You can get 5 kilos, you can put 2.5 kilos on each side. I tried to use the cheapest equipment that I could find for this video. You could even use a water cooler, and I actually chose this weight specifically because of that water cooler. I want you to think in your daily life, what are the activities where you're worried about putting your back out, where somebody asks you to do something and you can't actually do it? I'm talking about things like you're at the office and somebody says, please will you change the water cooler? And you're thinking, can I pick that up? Am I going to put out my back? Am I going to tear something in my knee? And I'm going to help you to overcome that fear. I want you to be able to pick up your kids. I want you to be able to walk with them to school, walk with them on your shoulders. If you need to get your luggage out of the car and you need to take it to the airport, I don't want you to be scared to do that anymore. And I don't want anything in this video to be perfect, because life is not perfect. And especially if you're at my age, life is not perfect. And you're going to not have a perfect workout environment, but I want you to do this 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week, okay, and have a bit of a break. You're going to work out more specific routines later on, and I'll help you with that. But for now, let's think about basic movements that you do in your life, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how this transfers before I explain right at the end a philosophy that will tie it all together and will transform your life. So I'm going to start with 5 basic exercises. And the first exercise that I'm going to do is a modified deadlift. Okay, normally deadlifts people are used to are done with a bar, and I do them with a bar. I'm going to do a specific form video for every single exercise in this video, but I just want you to become familiar with the whole workout so that you can start today to begin to learn how to do it. And this little dumbbell that I've used is the cheapest adjustable dumbbell that you can find. It's not even a steel bar, it's actually a nylon bar. You can find these on Facebook Marketplace. I'm pretty sure no matter where you live and no matter what income bracket you're in, you can collect the plates as you go. Later on you can expand, you can join a commercial gym. People watching this video might be dealing with totally different constraints. Some of you may be able to go to the fanciest gyms, and some of you may have nothing, and I want this to be able to apply to everybody, which is why I'm doing this. So your first movement, and I want you to just think about picking up that water cooler at the office. So there's 2 situations that you're going to deal with, and I'm going to teach you one, which is just a squat movement. And all a squat is really is think about sinking your bum down to the ground. Okay, think about sinking your bum to the ground. When you go down, you're going to take a deep breath in. Think about it like you're going to go underwater, and brace your core. Your hips, your pelvis, and your chest are going to move at the same time, and you're going to bend at the knees. Okay, when you come up, you'll breathe again. So you'll take a breath, and you'll pick up that water cooler, and you'll go back down till the crease of your hips is below your knee, and you'll go back up again, and you'll basically just do this 5 times. Now, the reps, the sets, and that we're going to vary as we go. That's the first movement. I want to add an extra piece of this, which is just, there are a lot of variations you can do, but one that I particularly like is doing this, sticking it on my shoulder, going back down, sticking it on my shoulder. Again, you don't have to use 20 kilos to start. You can use 2.5 kilos on each side. You can use no weight at all. You can use this just with your body weight. The important thing is to feel where your injuries are, because I'm pretty sure that if you're in your 40s or you're in your 50s, you've probably got injuries, torn ACLs from sports back in the day, hernias, maybe back injuries. What I want you to do right in the beginning is actually just to feel your body, where your injuries are, and you might not be in a good state of fitness, in a good state of health. So this feeling out process is very important, especially in the beginning, but we're going to carry it on through. And essentially what I want you to do is just feel where you have pain, and you're going to adjust. Not everybody squats the same. Your hips attach in different places. Your femurs are different lengths. So don't think that there's one perfect thing that you saw one person doing that will sort it out. And I learned this lesson the hard way when I was in my 20s, watching what I thought was perfect form. And I did a squat just like a bodybuilder at the gym, because that's who I wanted to be like, not realizing that actually I pronate, and my hips attach differently. I've got longer femurs, and I actually ended up tearing my meniscus. So I want you to feel your body, and I will do more videos on how to squat according to your body type, but I think that's important. You can also do this with a barbell, but I'm using this specifically for this video because most of you won't have a barbell yet, and I want you to be able to do this with literally just about anything. So that's the squat movement. The next movement that I want to teach you is just a deadlift. Really, it's a hip hinge. Whereas the squat, my butt was going down like this. With a deadlift, it's really a hip hinge. So I'm holding the bar, and what I'm doing is I'm doing this sideways, looking ridiculous, but I want you to see that it's actually a different movement. Picture it almost like you're touching a fridge behind you, or you're touching the wall behind you. You're going down, and you are bracing your core again. And you are just lifting up, and you're putting it down. Now, it's one of the most important movements, if not the most important movement that you're going to do, and I want you to learn how to do that comfortably. A lot of people are worried about back problems when it comes to deadlifts, and they avoid deadlifts for that reason. I avoided them for years because of my hernias, because of all sorts of things. And what I realized is that a lot of the injuries that I've seen are not from the deadlifts. It's because people don't do deadlifts. People don't do a hip hinge movement, and they wind up getting injured from sneezing. You know, they wind up getting back injuries because they had to pick up something heavy and they put their back out because they're not used to that movement. Their muscles aren't used to doing that. They don't have the strength. Their connective tissues aren't ready. So learn how to squat so you can pick up those water coolers, so that you can pick up your kids. Learn how to do a deadlift, because you're going to have to move something. Okay, you're going to have to pick up a couch and move it. Your wife's going to tell you to move something along. You're going to have to move a cabinet out the way. You're going to have to pick something up and put it down. And when you do that, if you haven't been working this movement, what's going to happen is that over time, your strength is going to deteriorate and your body's not going to be used to doing it, and you risk great injury. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you is just a simple movement. Now, normally I would rest on something, but since the way I've set up my phone here is not exactly professional, you're going to do a row. Now, you can do dumbbell rows just on your knee. I like to normally, there's so many variations. You can do it on a bench with your knee up. I'll go into that in other videos. You can rest against something, do croc rows, dead stop rows. But basically what the movement is, and again, you can change your angle, change your elbow direction, but just lifting up like this, okay? I'm going to work on just 5 reps on each for this video, because I think it's a good number for you guys to be able to measure, okay? And there's advantages, disadvantages to every number of sets and reps, which I'll discuss in different videos. But it's a very important movement to be able to do, because again, you're going to pick up groceries, okay? You need a pulling movement. So what we've learned so far is a squat pattern, a deadlift pattern, or should I say hip hinge pattern, a pulling movement, okay? And the next one is something that I guarantee you, all of you will have done before, even if it was 30 years ago in school, and you may not be able to do it anymore, but it's time to start being able to move, to do it. You don't need any weight for it, and that's a simple push-up, okay? Just as a reminder, you can basically keep your core straight, down, touch your chest to the floor, and up. Keep your elbows 45 degrees away, down and up, down and up, down and up. With all of these movements, be conscious of your injuries. I'm 7 weeks out from a calf tear that I got doing some intense tactical training, so it's not a problem for me to do these now. I have no doubt that some of you have got issues, and I want you to always be mindful of that. The last thing that I want you to do is just really such a simple looking exercise. Different variations, loaded carries, okay, or suitcase carries. So pretty much what I'm going to do, same as a squat pattern to pick it up, okay, and I'm just walking up and down, Okay, pick a point. I'm just using these poles in my driveway as the point, and I'm trying to do it in a way that you can see where I am. So just to show you again, squatting down, squatting up. Okay, this is a movement that really is a critical part of healthy aging, because you are going to be doing uneven loads. You're going to be picking up groceries. You're going to be loading your suitcase into your car, and it's something that's underrated. So again, just to sum up, we've done the squat pattern, we've done a hip hinge pattern, we've done a pulling movement, we've done a pushing movement, a horizontal pushing movement. Remember the push-up? You can do that in a myriad of ways, from dumbbell bench presses, barbell bench presses, machines later on, depending on your access to equipment, your available time, and your ability as you are now. What I want to emphasize though is that you need to start doing this today. You can use your body weight, you can use something cheap that you found on Marketplace. Don't wait, because where I was, even though now I can squat, I can bench, I can deadlift, a lot more than my body weight. A few years ago, I had declined. In my head, I was still the same as I was when I was young, when I was competing in amateur MMA, when I was gymming. And what had happened is that work, life, stress had led me to a point where I actually had to move a palisade fence just out of my yard here. I called my brother-in-law, who's 20 kilos lighter than me, and asked him to help, and he picked up his side, and I couldn't pick up my side. And that was just one story. Another thing that comes to mind is my son went off down an embankment on his bicycle. I needed to sprint, and I couldn't get there. And so that was my daughter running. Then when my son did it a few years ago, I had caught such a scare from when my daughter did it that I was actually able to sprint and catch him. So I'm going to discuss other things like sprinting, but that's for future videos. My main goal for this video is not for bodybuilders. This is not a video geared for competitive bodybuilders. It's not a video for you if you have just done your powerlifting debut. This is for older dads who are feeling crap, feeling weak, feeling like they've got no time, they've got no space, they've got no money, and they want to just be able to cope with life better. This is for you. I do hope that it helps. It certainly has helped me, and I did say in the video at the end that I would discuss a bit of the philosophy around it, and there's a few parts to it. One is habit. Okay, stop saying, I can't do this. You've got 10 minutes in your day. Think about the older you. Think about the you that's in their 80s, that suddenly misses a step and can't correct themselves and breaks a hip and winds up in hospital. Think about the older you that can't get off the toilet unassisted. Okay? Think about the older you that needs help walking upstairs. This, if you do this now, okay, this is what helps the older you be more capable, so that you can get off the toilet by yourself, so that you can walk upstairs, so that you can carry your groceries. And another thing is just to think of an important concept called progressive overload. So you may start with nothing. Okay, you may start with just the bar. You may not be able to squat with any weight at all. Okay, but start to squat, start to deadlift, start to do loaded carries, suitcase carries, start to do a push and a pull movement, and slowly you don't increase your weight or your reps very fast. Okay, we're not here to get injured. You add a little bit of weight incrementally over time. I have a little framework that I've developed which I call the ICE framework. It stands for intensity, consistency, and efficiency. Okay? What I mean by intensity is, don't make it so hard that you don't want to do it the next day, but don't make it so easy that you can't feel it. There needs to be a little bit of a level of intensity, and that's going to start off very, very low in the beginning, okay? Because the most important part is that C, is the consistency. I want you to be doing this 6 days a week in the beginning. There are more specialized workouts, and things will change as you get stronger, but the most important thing, more important than anything else here, is the discipline behind it. And lastly is the E in this framework, which is efficiency. And what I mean by that is, learn to be efficient in your movements and learn to be efficient in the time you have available, because you may have 2 hours a day to do this. You may be unemployed. You may be in a very demanding office job where you literally only have 10 minutes a day, and that's fine. What's important is to take that time that you have, make it as efficient as possible. I will go into detail in future videos. I really hope that this video helps a dad who's feeling not good about themselves, feeling weak, and feeling like they're maybe not where they used to be. If it does help, let me know. If you thought it was total crap, let me know. And if you've got any suggestions or videos that you'd like to see, let me know. I'm Jonathan, thanks for spending a bit of time with me. I know your time is precious, and have a great day.